accused of 4 Omaha murders, wants to plead guilty through a letter. Prosecutors say it doesn't work that way. Good evening, I'm Melissa Fryan for Brandy Peterson.
I'm Rob McCartney. Murder suspect Nico Jenkins sent out multiple letters saying he wants to spare the victims' families and plead guilty. He's
charged in a 10-day killing spree in August, accused of taking the lives of Curtis Bradford, Juan Uribe Pena, Jorge Cajilla Ruiz, and Andrea Kruger.
Tonight, prosecutors say a letter isn't a plea, and so far changes nothing. KATV News Watch 7's Hannah Pickett live with the big story at 6. Hannah?
Yeah, Rob, Nico Jenkins' attorney Tom Riley says there are no plans to change his plea to guilty, and he says he'd advise his client against it. He says they're working on a mental evaluation to determine if Jenkins is even capable of making a plea given his mental health history, adding Jenkins is still referencing demonic forces in the letter to the paper. He wants to plead guilty for the murders of 4 people, and Nico Jenkins tried to Wednesday. Someone claiming to be a power of attorney signed off on this form and sent it to the courthouse. Turns out the document isn't intended for felonies or district court at all. It's for misdemeanors and county court.
As for the paperwork that he filled out to actually plead, really doesn't matter in district court. That's not how we take pleas in district court, so it's not official. In district court, you have to appear personally in front of your judge, and your attorney would be present, and the judge has to go through a number of rights and make sure you understand the rights and that you're waiving certain rights when you plead.
Jenkins also wrote letters to the newspaper, a judge and prosecutors wanting to plead guilty.
We had it booked into property at the Omaha Police Department, and we'll use it as a piece of our evidence.
In a letter to the paper, Jenkins writes, "Please help me help the victims' families of my crimes get closure. I never wished for anyone to be killed. I only wanted help, psychiatric treatment." That he wants to spare these families traumatization of seeing brutal facts of what a mentally ill schizophrenic did to their family. The families of Andrea Kruger and Curtis Bradford say he's not sparing them anything since he's not the only one charged. They think Jenkins writes these letters with an agenda. Michael Ryan Kruger wants Jenkins to stand trial and wants to look him in the eyes. So as it stands right now, Jenkins is still here at Douglas County Corrections. His plea in 4 murder cases is still not guilty, despite his numerous attempts to change it.
Hannah, is Jenkins back in court anytime soon? And if he is, could he change his plea then?
Yeah, Rob, he's scheduled to be back in court here in a couple of weeks for a pretrial hearing. So far, there are no plans of that hearing becoming a plea hearing. But of course, if that changes, we will be sure to let you know.
All right, Hannah Pickett, thanks for the update. Well, new at 6.